Hello, this is Manesh Patel with the EII Capital Group. This is a weekly Ichimoku analysis for commodity futures where we cover corn, gold, wheat, oil, U.S. Treasury bonds, etc. Okay, today is September 19th, 2010. Hopefully you guys had a good week trading commodity futures. Normal procedures, this is a disclaimer basically stating this is for educational purpose only. All charts are either in Thinkorswim or TradeStation, and also the music in the background is from Katara. Okay, here are my contact details. You can follow us on Twitter at Ichimoku Trading. Also, you could access our free discussion boards, wikis, blogs, and so forth from eiicapital.com. Okay, so let's begin. And let's begin with a heat map. Remember, on the heat map, we're looking at this rating system here, where 5 to 8 being bullish, where 8 is extreme bullish, and -5 to -8 being bearish, where -8 is extreme bearish. Okay, as you can see from the weekly videos, the commodity futures from things from soybean, corn, oil, all of them are being pretty much bullish, and you could see that trend is pretty much continuing here. Okay, and we'll talk about that. Metals were bullish, and then basically oil and gas were bearish, and you could see that this pretty much is still continuing there. You are starting to get some weaknesses, but they're still very trending. Okay, if you look at the weekly on the wheat, you could see that wheat now is 5 and -7. We'll go look at the chart. Soybeans are pretty much at the extreme bullish side. Corn is at the extreme bullish side. When it gets to the extreme bullish side, I start looking for counter trend opportunities on the lower time frames. Reason why it's there, if I'm not in a trend trade already. Okay, so please take a note of that. On sugar, we're going to look at that because the daily is now extreme bullish and the weekly is not extreme bullish, so the weekly may be getting influenced now. We got to see what's going on there. Okay. Coffee, you could see that coffee was at the extreme bullish. The daily is getting a little weaker now, where the Tinkinson Cajunson is getting a little weak. So it looks like this could be a counter trend opportunity now on coffee. Oat is basic extreme bullish. Gold, extreme bullish. You could see silver, extreme bullish. You probably hear CNBC talk about silver last week, making a huge move up. As far as platinum is concerned, platinum's still weak, but you could see that the daily is extreme bullish and is now influencing the weekly. So this could be an opportunity more than the other metals there because the weekly is still not bullish. So platinum could be an opportunity for a trade there. As far as oil is concerned, you could see that it was the weekly is extreme bullish and the daily is right at the borderline. Natural gas is all bearish. Sorry, bearish there, not bullish. All these are pretty much bearish. So let's go look at the charts because they're probably better to go look at first and then go from there. Okay, so let's go start off the weekly time frame and let's go into futures and let's go look at commodity futures first. Let's go look at cocoa. You notice on cocoa, look at the weekly. If you look at weekly, it's still bearish as far as it's concerned. Okay, a little up movement there, but it's still trending down. Everything looks good. The only thing is that Chicago is in the cloud, so it's going to cause some consolidation. You're going to not have a nice trend going down unless it's very, very strong. Okay, you need that Chicago to be out of the cloud in order for a trend to be very, very strong. Let's go look at the daily time frame. You could see that basically we're flirting around with a Cajunson, which is not good at all. So this is not a good trend opportunity right now to enter. It looks like it's going for a pullback. You probably wanted to wait for a pullback and see what happens from there. Definitely look at levels here and definitely look at levels here to see exactly what this thing's going to do. If it comes down here again, then it has a tendency, has a chance of sitting there trending lower again. But you could see from the weekly time frame, it was getting weak. Okay. That's cocoa futures. Let's go look at cotton real fast. You could tell from cotton is basically trending very, very nicely up. A lot of people have not even noticed it. CNBC hasn't even noticed it at all. But this thing has been going up nicely. Okay, and you could see that as soon as it broke out of the cloud, this thing is gone. And this thing has gone in the beginning of August. So if you've been in cotton, you're doing really, really nice right now. Okay, be careful. It had a huge pop up last week. It's still trending nicely, but start tightening your stops and make sure you don't give your profit back. Okay, let's go look at coffee. We're just going for the commodity futures first, okay? On coffee, you could see that weekly is trending bullish. It looks good trending bullish. But if you come down to a daily, you now close below the Tinkinson. So you may have a pullback that's on the way. You gotta wait and see what happens, okay? So no trade opportunities there. Let's keep on going. There's sugar. Let's go look at sugar. You could see sugar, it basically came down to the tickets and bounced off there, okay? Now, that's the daily. Let's go look at the weekly first. Weekly, you could see we got straight into the cloud now. We're bullish, okay? But we got into the cloud and we bounced off that cloud. That's not good. So we need a pullback right now. That's going to occur on a weekly time frame. We need a pullback to occur in order for everything to equalize. Notice the Chicago finally broke out of the price too, so that's looking good. We need a pullback probably to occur about the 22.58, and then it could probably go stronger. Okay, let's go look at the daily. Daily shows that a pullback has occurred. The pullback has not been confirmed at all. Just because it's got a little too green bars doesn't mean this pullback has been confirmed. And plus, this is a minor pullback. You really want it to sit there and go below the Cajun and before it starts going up. But you don't know what's going to do. But sugar is still very strong. But it's still, as far as the weekly is concerned, it's getting weak now. The reason why it went for a figure Ichimoku cloud and has yet to penetrate that cloud by closing above it. Okay. Let's look at corn. Corn's been moving up nicely. Let's go look at the weekly time frame. You can see as soon as it broke out of the cloud, this thing is gone. So really, the opportunity was right around July, and this thing basically has taken off. You notice a lot of the commodity futures have taken off, broken out of the cloud more towards July and August. Take a note of that for next year. Okay. Here's oats. Look at that. June 14th. So a lot of commodity futures seem to be breaking out there and going into trend scenarios on the bullish right around the summertime when the U.S. stock market's kind of being dead. So it seems like money's coming into this market at that time. If you look at the oats, they're very strong going forward, and it's still strong there on a daily too. On a weekly, there was a major resistance value that it broke here. Got to here, broke that one too. And the last one, which is a major one here, which I think it's going to sit there and reverse on and stop, is going to be at 371.23. So we're looking at it to get to 371.23 and probably stop and go into a pullback mode and then maybe try to do a double top or something to get there. And then the key will be what happens at that point. So you guys wait and see what happens, but this is still very strong. I think it's going to get there and bounce off that guy. Okay, that's oats. And lastly, for the commodity futures, let's look at wheat. Wheat is being iffy. Still very strong as far as the weekly is concerned. It's done its pullback. It really hasn't sat there and continued after the pullback at all. It really needs to continue. It needs to break this level here on the weekly to even start looking at bullish opportunities. And you could see that if we put an alert there, then we could see that this thing may be going up to retest this high here and then possibly going higher. Okay, so we really need to wait for wheat futures to confirm the pullback and then move higher. Let's go look at 30-year Treasury bonds. You could see, let's go look at weekly first. Weekly, we closed below the Cajun-sen, the Tinkinson last week, and this week we're still below it. We formed the doji. Some people may think that's signs now to go long. However, I'm not going to sit there and guess. We're going to wait for it to get to this level before we start looking at opportunities at all in a daily time frame. So you got a daily, it looks there, and honestly, that level is not even good there at all. You need to really sit there and look at this level right here, which is at the Cajun-sen. Until it crosses above the Cajun-sen, you're really not going to see any opportunities there. You probably, my guess is that this thing would probably sit there and start making a move in the next couple days, and probably next week this thing's going to be ready to pop, okay, to the upside. Okay, let's go look at gold. I love gold. If you've been following us on Twitter, been doing really good as far as gold is concerned. We've mentioned to take some profits if you were in the trade last week. If you look at it, it's still very, very strong as weekly is concerned. In fact, everything's now pointing up. So this is very, very strong. We noticed we didn't say exit your trade in Twitter. We said take some profits, okay? And if you look at the daily time frame, the reason why we said look take some profits because Tinkinson and Cajun are getting very close to each other. and then if you look, you keep getting these little small doji days there, which is not good. So it's showing little signs of weakness there. That's why we say kind of take some profit so you can kind of get it out at max profit as much as possible. However, this thing is still trending strong, very, very strong to the upside. Okay, let's go look at silver. Silver, get a little doji there, but still strong going to the upside. Weekly, you could see that it broke out of its major resistance value right there, and pretty much we've been going since then. Okay, a lot of people sit there and says when we got this resistance value, you got the doji on the weekly, and they were predicting this thing to go down, and they didn't, and they got their hands caught, and that's why this movement on silver is being to the huge side, to the upside. Okay, so let's move on to platinum and gold, and then we'll conclude. Platinum, if you look at platinum, we basically closed above the Cadenson on the weekly time frame. It's still kind of weak, in my words. The reason why is this Chicago needs to come out and stronger before we can move up. Okay, let's go look at daily. Daily has pretty much got to there, got above this major resistance value here, and it's starting to trend. It pretty much is trending now. Everything looks good there completely. One level here to look at is 1665, and then the next level would be here roughly around that level right there. If you're looking at any metals, if you're not in a trade, I'll definitely look at this one. This one looks like it's got more move to the upside than the others, because the others are trending and this one's just now beginning to trend. Okay, so wait for a pullback as far as platinum is concerned, and then go. You kind of probably want to wait for a pullback to back to 1603, and then look at opportunities to go long. And then lastly, let's go look at crude oil. Light sweet crude oil. And you could see that this thing is flirting around, is still bearish. Let's go look at weekly first before we start making comments. The weekly, it's in the cloud. It's got a thin part of cloud here. Any movement good to the downside, this thing's going to turn bearish here. Chicago will start coming down and getting stronger. Okay. However, you still got a little while before this thing really breaks down to a bearish trend. My guess is probably about another month or so before this thing goes down. It's going to pretty much consolidate in a wide range before it goes. Please ignore that. Here, this scenario here, if you look at this, you really want it to sit there and break this level before looking at any day trading or daily opportunities to go short. So you want it to go and break the 73.53 level before you start looking at any opportunities to go short. Okay, that concludes this week for commodity futures. Hopefully you have a good week trading. If you have any questions, please contact